We're on a new question. We are on sparse arrays. There's a collection of input strings and a collection of query strings. For each query string, determine how many times it occurs in the list of input strings. Return an array of the results. There are two instances of AB, one of ABC. Okay, well, the first thing I want to point out is that if you have, for example, a list of, well, I don't know how they're going about this, but if they had something like, you know, A as a query, and then they had a list of like a string list of A, well, then that would be like, okay, actually, a better example would be they had AA, and then they had a string list of like 5 A's. Well, then that's like what? I don't even know. I need to know this shit off the top of my head, but it's like 4 different it's like 4 different times that the string could be matched technically in that 1-5 section of A. For each query, add an element to the return array. Instances of AB, one of ABC. Alright, well, it's a medium difficulty question, huh? Well, let's put that to the test. Alright. Okay, so we're gonna need a count dictionary here. Probably import counter collections. Bro, I ate one banana and I think I'm about to throw up again. This is ridiculous. You know what? I don't know if that's even what we need. Well, I thought a dictionary would be the way to go, but now I'm starting to question that. Jungle. jungle, 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 jungle. All right, well, now I'm wondering about time complexity because I'm seeing an n-squared solution. All right, well, q times n, I'm pretty sure is what I was going to do. Pattern string. The pattern is going to be the keys string. I'm the kill out zone. Well, I wanted to go with something like this, but I can't because it doesn't dictionary doesn't maintain order in Python. So this is probably out of the question at this point. This gets so boring after a while. Oh. Kill out zone. Ow, what? That's no. How does that always happen to me? I thought so. Bro, what? All right. All matches for string ABA, query ABA, one match. ABA, whatever. ABA, AB, matches. Baba, matches. So, should I turn this into a set? So, I probably want to turn string list into a dictionary. So, what I'm hoping this will do now is keep count of basically how often we see these, and now instead of like running a whole query for these separate instances of A, B, it should just group them into one and then multiply it by 2, since there's 2 instances. Okay, I need to improve my speaking abilities, so what I'm hoping this is going to do is it's going to make a dictionary from string list, and it's going to make each individual occurrence, it's going to make the first occurrence of each individual string, the key, and then it's going to count the amount of occurrences of that string in the index or the array. And then here where it finds, well, it's going to iterate over the keys. Probably need to actually go ahead and do that. String dict.keys. It's going to iterate over the keys in string dict, and then it's going to run a query against each one of those strings, and then it's going to match, if it finds a match, well, not if, it's going to find all matches of that query. It's going to take the count, and then it's going to multiply that against the amount of occurrences of that string in the dictionary. I hope that was clear. God, I suck at explaining things. Alright, so there's that. And I just have my doubts that queries would have duplicates, but they always throw curveballs, so you never know. And let's run it. Alright, so same result, probably less amount of computations required at least.
Hello, brethren, and welcome back to the video. We were doing stuff, right? And now the stuff that we were doing doesn't work. So why doesn't it work? Well, silly old me thought that you could match something like AB, like a query AB. You could match it, for example, Baba has A and B directly next to each other. I thought you could match that, but it turns out they want direct matches, which actually simplifies the process significantly, and this would never have even worked even if that was the case. Well, it wouldn't work in at least one context. But yeah, so basically, I think what we need to do now is we need to make a dictionary, and we need to make the keys the queried things. Key. But if we do that, I can probably do that. Key is 0 for key and queries. So for string and queries, if the string is in string dict, then we are going to increment string dict, and we're going to break. Well, no, that's not right. No, we need to double pause. Fish. Alright, so I did a little off-screen wizardry while my girlfriend was calling me, so let's talk about it. Since we found out that it had to be direct matches and you couldn't partially match a string, that made things a lot simpler. So we were basically able to initialize this should be a queries dict, not a string dict. I'm actually just going to go ahead and fix that so it doesn't lead to any confusion. So the query dictionary is just literally the keys. Well, the keys are the values of the queries, right? I guess honestly, that would have been fine. It's a hybrid between the two. But basically, we iterate over the strings in the string list, and if that string list is in our query dictionary, then we just increment the count at that value, and then we return. So the data, we already have the data, and you could probably, if you're lucky enough, say something along the lines of return query dictionary dot values, and it'll have like the same effect. But because we need this query dictionary to be in order, we iterate over the keys in the queries because, we're returning the counts for each query. And we basically get the value of the query dictionary at each key. So that's all. And let's submit it, see if we pass. We did. I figured we would. Definitely not what I would consider a medium problem. That was like max level weakness. I think I'm actually going to cut the video. We're like at an hour and 40. Oh, yeah, I'm going to cut it here. All right. What did we learn? What did we learn? Nothing, I think, is the answer to that question. Let's go back and just check and see if we learned anything. Oh, I did learn something. I learned that you can take an array and you can rotate its values in place. I had no idea you could do that. I thought when you rotated it, you were going to get like a thing where you had like conflicting, like if you tried to take a set of like rotated, God, I don't, see, this is what I need to get better at, the ability to speak and like communicate my thoughts. I thought that if you were to take an array and rotate it, the subset that gets rotated out and then replaced, I thought that if you were to do that, right, you were to replace, some amount of, like, you were to do this in place and replace some amount of characters at the end, because that's kind of how it works. Like, if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you push 1 off the screen, move to the end, take 2, move to the end, 3, move to the end, right, and you push, well, you actually technically wouldn't be pushing any values to the end, because by sorting in place, well, by doing that in place, you'd actually be just replacing the end values. But what I didn't know is that you can do that in place. The more you know, right? So that's the end of the video. Have a good one.